Imagine this: a 15-year-old boy wakes up as emperor of history's wealthiest empire, the Ming Dynasty. At first, he's a reformer, until Taoist alchemists whisper in his ear. Soon, he's ditching his throne to chase magic immortality elixirs, whipping hundreds of officials in brutal public floggings, getting nearly strangled by his own palace maids. Meet Emperor Jiajing, the Taoist Mad King, whose 44-year reign of paranoia, torture, and neglect put China on the path to ruin. In 1521, Emperor Jing dies, no kids. The throne goes to his cousin, 15-year-old Jiajing. 6 days into his reign, the newly crowned Jiajing emperor shocked the court by issuing an unprecedented command. His biological father, Prince Xingxian, was to be granted posthumous imperial honors. But the command was strongly opposed by scholar officials, who argued emperors must follow Confucian adoptive succession rules, which claimed Jiajing was legally Emperor Hongzhi's son. While the emperor retorted, "I inherit the throne, not the family line," demanded direct recognition of his bloodline. 3-year deadlock with debates flooding the court, known as the Great Rites debate, neither side willing to compromise on ritual principles. This wasn't just about titles, it was a power struggle over who controlled imperial legitimacy. Bureaucrats trying to maintain checks on monarchy, emperor asserting personal authority over tradition. Then, in 1524, over 200 officials knelt and wailed at the Zhuoshuan Gate, demanded Emperor Jiajing reverse his father's imperial title, and refused to disperse for an entire day. Enraged, Jiajing ordered court beatings for the protesters. 180+ officials beaten with wooden paddles in court. 17 died from the brutal punishment. Survivors were imprisoned or demoted. The Left Gate Mass Flogging became infamous as the Ming Dynasty's bloodiest scholar official suppression. After this, Emperor Jiajing ruled with an iron fist. Any official who displeased him risked imprisonment or corporal punishment. Ming governance shifted from collective decision-making to unchecked imperial autocracy. For 20 years, the emperor proved a diligent ruler, steering the Ming dynasty through a period of comparative peace and prosperity. Yet in his later years, the emperor succumbed to Taoist obsessions, neglecting his duties, skipping court sessions for months on end, and surrendering governance to scheming officials and eunuchs. The predictable result? A court rotting with corruption and descending into chaos. Jiajing was notoriously paranoid, cruel, and temperamental, particularly toward palace maids and concubines. In 1542, a group of palace maids tried to strangle him with his own robe after years of abuse. Though he survived, the incident deepened his superstitious turn to Taoism. Obsessed with achieving immortality, he increasingly neglected state affairs, retreating from governance for long periods. As the Jiajing emperor descended deeper into his Taoist obsessions, the imperial coffers paid the price. Mountains of silver were squandered on mystical elixirs and grand temples while state finances bled dry, sowing the seeds of the Ming dynasty's economic decline. When the Jiajing emperor finally died in 1567, he left behind an empire in crisis, a bankrupt treasury, a corrupt bureaucracy, and a population pushed to the brink. While the Ming dynasty would limp on for another 80 years, historians agree, Jiajing's toxic combination of paranoia, Taoist obsessions, and brutal neglect planted the seeds of its eventual downfall. In the end, the emperor who desperately sought immortality achieved the opposite. He became the architect of his dynasty's mortality.